Hello, this is Andrew, the Archon Philosopher. Welcome in, talking philosophy to the philosopher in all of us. Today I have a topic here, what is truth? What is living in untruth? It was brought up to me in a comment that this should be discussed, and it is discussed. It's in my book, and I've had to give it lots of thought. I studied it at university, and what I found in university was the correspondence theory is the main theory. Even the pragmatist school of philosophy has some relationship between propositions, which are sentences, statements, and reality. This is what the main way of asserting truth is. I'm going to say that this is not really the best. We can take a look at this chart here. You can pause and take a look, but this is it. You can find this yourself and go through them all and decide the strengths and weaknesses of them. I'm going to propose a theory of truth that's probably more in the pragmatic theory of truth. But what it does is it recognizes what Willem Dilthey and Alfred North Whitehead and others like that we humans have a wholly lived life. And just one part of it's the intellectual part, the correspondence between our statements that we make and reality. That life is bigger than just this. And that as we work, live, and play on the field of experience, we have a broader brush to paint with than just the intellectual paintbrush. But of course, we must describe anything we do in these terms of symbolic structures of language, mathematics, and logic. Definitely, this narrative that we develop helps us navigate the field of experience, helps us navigate the lived-in world. But I want to change it slightly, well, maybe a lot, to introduce the idea of a wholly lived world. You know, it was in the past, the great logician Tarski came up with the example snow is white as this type of proposition that we can talk about and put into logical symbols and try to determine how to justify this as truth. And unfortunately for Tarski, I don't think he knew that occasionally snow is pink. I know. Yeah, this is a picture. I think it's in the Sahara that, the red sands of the Sahara blow up and then it snows and it's pink. And so this type of example is not really where we should be in talking about a wholly lived life. And certainly in Northern Europe, snow is probably always white. I don't know. But we don't want to try to universalize something like this because it really has no effect. I can only think of this having one situation where there's an effect of getting it wrong, and we'll see about this, that snow is white, and that is if you're in the Sahara and you think you're okay and you go up to this pink stuff and it turns out to be snow and you freeze to death. And so in a wholly lived life, we want to do something. We want to put skin into the game. That's what we want to do to decide whether something is true, or let's take a look at the opposite of truth, which is falsity. And what happens if you confuse a false statement for true? And this is what we're going to look at in trying to define what truth is. So, but before we get into that, let's just, for everyone here and for myself, let's just get a definition out here, because a lot of people are talking about information. And so, what is information? Information is meaning to be communicated. Meaning is a revealing of being in the world. So, you're being in the world right now, and enjoy the world. Please enjoy the world. Knowledge is having information, and truth is the best knowledge, the most important knowledge. The knowledge that will help you stay alive. That's truth. And so falsity is that type of information that will unfortunately lead to your premature death. And so let's have an example here. So someone tells you a statement, jumping off this 10 floor roof will result in your absolutely almost death. And so here we have a true statement. I would say it's true, and we want to bring in intersubjective verification on this, that everyone would agree that jumping off a 10 floor roof is going to result, probably, most likely, very, very likely, in your death. And so falsity is to make the opposite statement. And then you have someone act on that, and they jump off and they're dead. So what we have is a premature death. So taking a false statement and acting on it in the interest of sustainability is living in untruth. And so you can have a premature death acting on false information. You can wind up enslaved or imprisoned or insane, acting on what someone claims is true but is actually false. Now, as to snow is white, as I say, there's maybe one case you can imagine where someone acts upon snow is white and this is pink, therefore it's not snow. You go up and you freeze to death. Okay, there might be some skin in the game here, but to choose statements that have no value, that they're not the best of knowledge, and ultimately you can hold just the opposite position on a lot of things and not have it destroy your life. We can take another true statement. It's you must look both ways before you cross the street. So you look both ways, and people say that this is true in order to prevent getting hit by a vehicle or something. And so you cross the street, and then suddenly you get hit by a satellite. Comes out of the air. So just because you have what we would all say is probabilistically the safest way to cross the street, the best way to preserve your sustainability in a wholly lived life, in the lived-in world, even if we do what we say is true, there's no guarantee that this is enough to sustain your life. This is the introduction of free will into the universe. This is the law of unintended consequence, that while we have best information, best knowledge, best praxis on knowledge and action, it's no guarantee that we will arrive at a safe point. And so what we're looking at in truth is whether the falsity will mislead us to the extent that we do prematurely end ourselves or wind up in jail or imprisoned or anything of that nature. So I want to urge people that, okay, the correspondence theory has all this technical stuff and people have worked at it, but this is merely an intellectual process. We are here in the field of experience, and we have a moment of experience when we open our eyes and are aware for that first instant, and then almost immediately, almost always, we fall into the world of things and we put language on it just to describe to ourselves. However, if you don't do that, then very quickly you will wind up doing things to damage yourself. And so we need to do this. This is part of how we as sentient creatures navigate. But it is only a part of our experience here. So enjoy the full range of experience. And if you want to know truth, I'm going to put out a definition of truth here. And again, this is it's in my book. I think it's on my website somewhere, prominently, I hope. That truth is a demonstrated, sustainably lived life. And so if you see someone who's old, you can ask them, how did you make it here so old? And they will give you truth. And ultimately, they may have done something that would probabilistically end other people's lives, but they got lucky because there's a probability involved. So it's not that the truth of one person is different than the truth of everyone. Some people just get lucky. They cross the street without looking, they don't die. But that's not going to happen to everyone. And so chances are you talk to enough people who are old, who have led a demonstrated, sustainably lived life, and you will get what truth is. And yeah, later on you can put it into symbols and do all of that fun stuff we did, and try to systemize it and come up with some program or something. But ultimately, living life is its own proof that truth is being followed, that you are living in truth. And we see a number of people who are living in untruth and have a bad situation. So this is my vote for truth, and I hope people got something from this. And we'll continue with another topic tomorrow, I hope. And as we leave this video, I want to thank everyone for supporting this channel. And once we know where we are, we will know who we are, and then we will know what to do.